Good to have your company across the Flow broadcast regions in Victoria and New South Wales. And for you tonight, we thought we'd have a look at AFLW with our resident expert here, Karl Carrington from Flow News 24. Hi, Karl. How are you?
Very good, Wayne. Pleasure to join you.
And I'm pretty pumped up because we're at the finals time of the AFLW. Mind you, I'm not a follower, as you know, so I'll have to ask you about something that I'm also not a follower of, is AFL Fantasy, in a little bit of time. So stay with me on that one. The two topics that I don't know very much about, I've got you in.
I've got you covered.
You've got me covered. Okay, tell me, with the big competition we've got this weekend, prelim finals, it's time to sort out, well, let's just say the girls from the girls, I suppose, if we want to put it that way, because we've got the very, very important game, Melbourne playing Adelaide, and the other one is Brisbane playing Collingwood. Now, give us the brief of how it all unfolded.
Well, we've got the pinnacle of the AFLW season now, with the two prelims set for this weekend. So Adelaide will be playing Melbourne. Melbourne beat Fremantle in their qualifier last weekend, and also Brisbane will be playing Collingwood, and Collingwood beat North Melbourne in last weekend to reach that prelim against Brisbane. So it's a top four, battle of the top four. These four sides all finished 1, 2, 3 and 4. So Adelaide will be looking for redemption against Melbourne, who of course beat them earlier this year. So it'll be a real test for the Adelaide girls. And Brisbane will be playing Collingwood as well. So, which was a very tight game as well. So it'll be a real test between all four sides.
Okay, so last time out, Daisy Pearce's Melbourne, 6-7-43. The Crows, 2-3-15. Then you have Brisbane, 4-11-35. Collingwood, 4-8-32. They are the two previous times in the home and away matches that the two sides that are playing each other on this occasion met. Might also add that it was both of those sides met the same sides, if you like, that they're meeting this weekend in finals in round 7 of 9.
Correct.
Week 7. So here it gets to it. Can Melbourne, if Daisy Pearce is not playing, and there's a big question mark on her fitness, can Melbourne get the same midfield dominance that they got over the Crows, or are the Crows a much better side now than they were back in that earlier part of the season?
I think the Crows are a much better side now. They finished very strongly. They beat Western Bulldogs the following round after that defeat to the D's, and then they also beat Collingwood, who of course are playing in the other prelim and who they'll most likely be facing in the final, I think. So I do think the Crows are favourites for this game. The loss of Daisy Pearce will be massive because she really is their key player in that midfield for the Demons. So yeah, Erin Phillips and the Crow girls will be very fancied favourites, I'd think, and yeah, they'll be looking for revenge against Demons after losing earlier this year.
Okay, Brisbane and Collingwood.
Yeah, another interesting fixture. I think Collingwood they'll be up and about for this one. Brisbane obviously finished higher on the table, finishing in second behind Crows, but I do think that Collingwood are set to play Adelaide in the final. I think that would be the most entertaining final for a neutral. They previously played the round before the qualifiers, and Adelaide did get the chocolates over Collingwood. So Brisbane and Collingwood would be a tight affair, but I do expect an Adelaide and Collingwood final.
Okay, now onto the topic I know you love, and you spend most of your time here at work just continually on your fantasy, looking at who you're going to add, who you're going to take out. How have you gone after round 2 of AFL matches, Karl? And how do you look after the Swans and Essendon game last night?
Yeah, it's been a slow start to the fantasy season for sure for myself. I'm sitting at 21,000, which I'm not overly happy with, especially getting the stick from the stat man throughout the offices here at Flow, who's sitting a little bit higher than myself. But yeah, last night it was a decent performance for myself. I had Errol Goulden and Chad Warner.
Oh, good.
So the two Sydney youngsters, there's been a lot of talk about the Sydney youngsters and how much they've been impressing. So yeah, very, very happy to have both of those in my side. And looking at trades this week, I traded out Jordan Clark for Chris Burgess, so a bit of a downgrade, and that allows me to go James Rowe, a Crowman, to another Crowman in Taylor Walker, who you've been very, very keen on and talking him up. So I've gone with your advice and got him in.
Last week I did tell you that I thought he was up for 6, and he did put the 6 through the slot, and he's got the most goals in the AFL this year. And now that you've actually got him on fantasy, I reckon he'll probably he'll
probably slow down. Yeah, that's what I think as well. No, I purely got him in because of his form, his low break even, meaning if he has a below average game, I suppose he'll still be making money, but he's playing North, and
yes.
You know what North Melbourne have been like, so. I do fancy Tex to kick another big bag this week.
Last time they played, North Melbourne did beat the Crows, so don't get your hopes up too quickly. North need to find something, and they'd probably like to do it against the Adelaide Crows, who wouldn't. It is the AFL Fantasy. Good to have you on board, Karl. Thanks for your tips and your review on AFLW, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week as we wrap up the grand final in the AFL Women's competition.
Cheers, Flyman. Go Crows.